All right, you magnificent degenerates, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're diving headfirst into a world of red hats and purple dresses, and enough wine to drown a goddamn camel. We're talking about the Red Hat Society, a global phenomenon that's either the coolest granny club on the planet or a collective midlife crisis.
Well, let's cut the crap and get one thing straight. The Red Hat Society is not about reliving your glory days or clinging desperately to youth. It's about owning your age, embracing your inner badass, and having a damn good time while doing it.
Okay, I'll bite.
There.
You're telling me these ladies aren't just a bunch of bored housewives looking for an excuse to wear a feather boa?
Look, the feather boas are definitely part of the fun, but there's a deeper story here. It all started back in 1998 with an artist named Sue Ellen Cooper. She buys a red hat, gifts one to a friend, and boom, the Red Hat Society is born.
So one impulsive hat purchase sparked a global movement. That's some serious butterfly effect shit right there.
It's more than just hats. The whole thing was inspired by a poem, Warning by Jenny Joseph. There's this line about wearing purple with a red hat that doesn't suit you, and it became a rallying cry for women who were tired of society's expectations of how they should act and dress after a certain age.
So it's like a big fuck you to societal norms and ageism disguised as a tea party.
Exactly. They're reclaiming their visibility, their voice, their sense of fun, and they're doing it in a way that's both subversive and celebratory.
I'm starting to see the appeal. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Fashion. I mean, red hats and purple dresses. It's like a goddamn explosion at a craft store.
You gotta understand, it's about more than just looking good, although they do rock those outfits with a certain flair. It's about making a statement, standing out, and refusing to be invisible. It's a visual rebellion against the idea that older women should blend into the background.
So it's a fashion statement with a side of social commentary. I like where this is going.
And don't underestimate the power of a good hat. It can be a symbol of individuality, a conversation starter, a way to express your personality.
Okay, I'm sold on the hats. But what about the structure of this whole thing? Is there like a queen bee of all the red hatters ruling with an iron fist and a bedazzled scepter?
Well, Sue Ellen Cooper, the founder, is known as the Exalted Queen Mother. But it's not some tyrannical dictatorship. Each local chapter has its own queen, who leads the group's activities and events.
The queen of chapter's activities. This is starting to sound like a sorority for the over 50 crowd.
Think of it more like a sisterhood, a network of women supporting and celebrating each other. They're not just sipping tea and gossiping, they're organizing outings, volunteering in their communities, traveling the world together.
Wait, so these ladies are out there living their best lives, breaking stereotypes, and traveling the world, all while rocking some seriously killer hats.
I'm starting to think I underestimated the Red Hat Society. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's more to this story than meets the eye. It's a movement that's challenging ageism, empowering women, and proving that life after 50 can be just as vibrant, if not more so, than any other stage of life.
Right, you've piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
Before we dive deeper into this red and purple wonderland, tell me what the hell is the deal with the pink hats?
Ah, yes, the pink hatters. They're the women under 50 who are eagerly awaiting their initiation into the red-hatted ranks. They wear pink hats and lavender outfits until they hit the big 50. Then they get to trade in their pastels for the full red and purple regalia.
So it's like a hazing ritual, but with better fashion. I'm digging it. But seriously, why the age restriction?
It's not about excluding younger women. It's about creating a space specifically for women who are navigating the unique challenges and joys of life after 50. It's a way of acknowledging that this stage of life often comes with societal pressures and expectations that younger women don't face.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got a badass origin story, a fashion statement that doubles as a middle finger to the patriarchy, and a global network of women who are proving that age is just a number. I'm officially intrigued. Tell me more about what these Red Hatters actually do.
Well, that's where things get really interesting. We're talking about a group of women who are rewriting the rules of aging. And they're doing it with a whole lot of style laughter and maybe a little bit of wine.
Now you're talking my language. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've still got a lot to uncover about this fascinating world of Red Hatters. So hold on tight, folks, because this deep dive is about to get even more wild.
All right, so we've established that the Red Hat Society is more than just a bunch of ladies who lunch. They're a global force to be reckoned with, challenging ageism and redefining what it means to be a woman over 50.
Yeah, it's like they're taking all those tired stereotypes about aging
Yeah.
and throwing them out the window with a feather boa and a bottle of Chardonnay. But let's get down to brass tacks. What do these Red Hatters actually do?
That's the beauty of it. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. The activities vary from chapter to chapter, but it's all about getting out there, trying new things, and connecting with other women.
So it's not just tea parties and knitting circles.
Well, there might be some tea parties and knitting circles, but it goes way beyond that. We're talking museum trips, theater outings, book clubs, volunteering, even travel adventures.
Wait, they actually travel together? I'm picturing a pack of red-hatted grandmas taking over a cruise ship. Like a scene out of Cocoon, but with more sequins?
Something like that, but probably with fewer aliens. The point is they're embracing life to the fullest and making memories together.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. It's like a built-in social network for women who are often overlooked or dismissed by society. But what about those who say the Red Hat Society is just a bunch of women clinging to their youth? How do they respond to that?
They laugh in the face of that bullshit, of course. Now, Red Hat Society isn't about denying age. It's about celebrating it. It's about recognizing that getting older doesn't mean you have to become invisible or irrelevant.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're still here. We're still fabulous. And we're not going to let society dictate how we should act or feel.
Exactly. They're reclaiming their power, their voice, and their right to have fun wrinkles and all.
But let's be real. There's got to be some drama, right? I mean, you get a bunch of women together.
Yeah.
Especially women who are used to being in charge. And there are bound to be some clashes of the titans.
Oh, I'm sure there are disagreements and personality clashes, just like in any group. But for the most part, it's about supporting each other, building each other up, and creating a sense of community.
So it's like a sisterhood, but with a healthy dose of sass. And maybe a few passive-aggressive comments about hat choices.
Maybe a few. But ultimately, it's about women coming together to celebrate life, defy expectations, and have a damn good time.
And speaking of defying expectations, what about the men? Are they allowed anywhere near this red and purple utopia?
Some chapters have red hat husbands who participate in events and support their wives' involvement, but it's primarily a women's organization, and that's intentional.
So it's like a girls' night out that never ends. Sign me up.
It's about creating a safe space for women to connect, share their experiences, and support each other, without the pressure of societal expectations or gender roles.
Okay, I get it. It's like a giant fuck you to the patriarchy disguised as a social club. And I'm all for it. But let's talk about the impact. Has the Red Hat Society actually made a difference in the world?
That's a tough question to answer. Their impact isn't always quantifiable. It's not about changing laws or winning awards. It's about changing hearts and minds.
So it's like a slow burn.
Yeah.
A gradual shift in how society views aging and older women.
Exactly. By simply existing and being visible, they're challenging stereotypes and forcing people to reconsider their assumptions about what it means to be a woman over 50.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not fading into the background. We're still vibrant. We're still relevant. And we're damn proud of it.
And that message resonates with a lot of women. It gives them permission to embrace their age, to let go of societal expectations, and to live their lives authentically.
So it's more than just a social club. It's a movement, a revolution even. And they're armed with red hats and purple boas.
And don't forget the wine. You can't underestimate the power of a good glass of wine when it comes to sisterhood and revolution.
All right, I'm convinced. The Red Hat Society is officially on my list of badass organizations. But before I start raiding my grandma's closet for a feather boa and a red hat, I have one more question. What about the critics? The ones who say it's all just silly and frivolous?
Well, to those critics, I say, lighten the fuck up. Life is too short to take yourself so seriously. The Red Hat Society is about joy, it's about connection, it's about celebrating life no matter your age.
And if you can do it while rocking a fabulous hat and a purple feather boa, well, that's just a bonus.
Exactly. But there's also a deeper message here. The Red Hat Society is challenging the societal norms that dictate how women should age.
So it's not just about fun and games. It's about pushing back against ageism and reclaiming their place in a society that often tries to silence or marginalize older women.
You got it. They're not just wearing red hats, they're wearing their hearts on their sleeves. And they're not afraid to show the world who they are.
Okay, I'm officially a fan. But let's be real, not everyone is cut out for the red hat life. It takes a certain kind of woman to rock a red hat and a purple boa with confidence.
That's true. It takes a woman who's comfortable in her own skin, who's not afraid to be bold, who's ready to laugh at herself, and who's eager to connect with other women on a deeper level.
So it's not just about the outward appearance. It's about an inner attitude, a spirit of rebellion, and a zest for life.
Precisely. It's about embracing the wisdom and experience that comes with age and using it to create a life that's full of joy, purpose, and connection.
All right, I'm sold. Where do I sign up? But seriously, what's the process for joining this red-hatted sisterhood? Is there like a secret handshake, a blood oath, a sacrifice to the goddess of sequence?
Nothing quite that dramatic, but there is a process. The best way to join is to find a local chapter and reach out. They're usually pretty welcoming and they're always looking for new members.
So it's like a sorority, but with less hazing and more cheesecake.
Something like that. But the real initiation is an internal one. It's about embracing your own unique spirit and finding your place within this vibrant community of women.
Okay, that sounds like a challenge I'm willing to accept. But before I go out and buy a red hat and a lifetime supply of purple feather boas, tell me this. What are the biggest misconceptions about the Red Hat Society? What do people get wrong about these amazing women?
That's a great question. One of the biggest misconceptions is that the Red Hat Society is just a bunch of bored housewives with nothing better to do. But that's so far from the truth.
Yeah, we've already established that they're out there living their best lives, volunteering, traveling, and generally kicking ass.
Exactly. Another misconception is that it's all about superficiality, about wearing flashy clothes and throwing parties. But that's just one layer of the onion. At its core, the Red Hat Society is about connection support and empowerment.
So it's about finding your tribe, your sisterhood, a group of women who get you and support you through thick and thin.
That's exactly it. And finally, people often assume that the Red Hat Society is exclusive or cliquey. But in reality, most chapters are incredibly welcoming and inclusive.
So it's not like high school where you have to be popular or wear the right clothes to fit
Not
in.
at all. The only requirement is a willingness to embrace life with a sense of fun and adventure and a desire to connect with other women who are on the same journey.
All right, I'm officially inspired. I might not be ready for a red hat just yet, but I'm definitely going to channel my inner red hatter from now on.
That's the spirit. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see you rocking a red hat and a purple feather boa, leading the conga line at a Red Hat Society bash.
Now you're talking. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've still got a lot more ground to cover in this deep dive. We've explored the activities, the impact, the misconceptions. But what about the critics? Are there people who just don't get the Red Hat Society? And if so, why? Oh, there are definitely haters out there. You know, the types who think women of a certain age should just disappear into the background, knitting quietly in a rocking chair and waiting for the Grim Reaper to show up.
You hit the nail on the head. It boils down to that deep-seated fear of aging we've talked about. The societal pressure to stay young and relevant. Some folks just can't handle seeing older women embracing life on their own terms.
Yeah.
Having fun and challenging those outdated norms.
It's like they're threatened by these women who are refusing to fade away gracefully. You're like, hey, you're supposed to be invisible. Stop being so damn vibrant and joyful.
Precisely. The Red Hat Society forces them to confront their own mortality, their own insecurities about getting older. It's a reminder that time marches on for all of us, and that one day they too will be the old folks that society tries to ignore.
So it's like the Red Hatters are holding up a mirror to society, reflecting back our own anxieties about aging. And some people just don't like what they see.
You got it. The Red Hat Society is a giant middle finger to the cult of youth, a celebration of the beauty and wisdom that come with age. And for some, that's a pretty radical concept.
It's like they're saying, screw your beauty standards, screw your expectations. We're going to embrace our wrinkles, our laugh lines, our silver hair. We're going to have a damn good time doing it.
And that's what really pisses off the haters, right? The unapologetic joy, the refusal to conform, the celebration of individuality. It's a powerful message, and it's one that's resonating with women all over the world.
It's like they're reclaiming their power one red hat at a time. And that's pretty damn inspiring if you ask me.
It is inspiring. They're proving that age is just a number, and that life after 50 can be just as vibrant, fulfilling, and even rebellious as any other stage of life.
And they're doing it with style, grace, and a whole lot of laughter. Okay, I'm officially a convert. I might not be ready for a red hat just yet, but I'm definitely going to channel my inner red hatter from now on.
That's the spirit. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see you rocking a red hat and leading a conga line of fabulous women through the streets.
Now that's a vision I can get behind.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to something you said earlier about the Red Hat Society being a force for change. How are they actually making a difference in the world?
It's not always about grand gestures or sweeping reforms. Sometimes change happens on a more personal level, one heart at a time. And that's where the Red Hat Society shines.
So it's about shifting perceptions, challenging stereotypes, and creating a more inclusive and accepting world for women of all ages.
Exactly, by simply being visible, by refusing to be silenced or marginalized. They're creating a ripple effect that's changing the way we think about aging and older women.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're still here. We're still vital. and we're still contributing to society in meaningful ways.
And that message is resonating not just with women, but with society as a whole. The Red Hat Society is helping to create a more age-friendly world, a world where everyone feels valued and respected, regardless of their age.
So it's not just about having fun. It's about creating a better world for all of us. Damn, these Red Hatters are deeper than I thought.
They are a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. They're challenging societal norms, empowering women, and reminding us all that life is a journey to be celebrated, not feared.
All right, I'm officially inspired. I'm going to go out and buy myself a red hat, a purple feather boa, and maybe a bottle of wine to share with my newfound sisters. Who knows, maybe I'll even start my own chapter.
That's the spirit. The world needs more Red Hatters, more women who are willing to stand up, stand out, and live life on their own terms.
Well said. All right, folks, that's it for our deep dive into the wonderful world of the Red Hat Society. We hope you learned a thing or two, had a few laughs,
Yeah.
and maybe even felt a little bit inspired to embrace your own inner badass.
And remember, no matter your age, never be afraid to wear a red hat and make a statement.
Peace out, you magnificent bastards.